I noticed that if I talked a lot, if I smiled a lot, like it would give me a horrible tension headache. It would feel like somebody had a rubber band on my head just squeezing it. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Chanel. You can tell by the title down below. Today's video is going to be over my journey on having TMJ as well as anxiety. I just want to tell a little bit about what I've been going through and how I found out I had TMJ. Really, they say it's TMJD, so it is basically TMJ disorder. I'm not going to say the full medical term because I don't want to butcher the medical term of it, so I'm just going to put it right here on the screen of what it is, but it's TMJD. So just to kind of give like a backstory of what I've been going through and how I found out that I have TMJ. And you know, I feel like this is basically going to help other people out there that may have been experiencing the same thing that I had and still haven't found an answer. This is probably going to help you out. I do want to use this as a virtual diary for myself, just because I've been going through so much for the last, I would say 2 years now. It's almost 2 years that I've been going through this condition and I didn't know what it was. So I'm hoping that this will help you guys as much as, you know, I needed help back then. I'm hoping I can provide that to someone. So let's get into my journey. It started back in 2019. It was around April or May of 2019. I was at work one day and I just noticed that I would have like hot flashes or, you know, get extremely nervous when I was in front of like my coworkers and meetings. You know, I just got flustered. You know, my cheeks was red and I was just feeling like lightheaded, feeling like I was about to pass out. I had the brain fog and everything. I'm like, you know, what is going on? Like, I am an introvert and I know this, you know, but I am an extrovert in certain situations. You know, I know how to adapt, especially at work. When it comes to meetings, I know how to bring out the extrovert when needed. So, you know, I thought that was kind of strange that I was having like the hot flashes and getting really nervous. My heart was just pounding. I noticed that, I don't know, it was just like this weird feeling in the back of my head. You know, it was kind of like a tingling feeling. It's almost like, it almost felt like something was crawling, but it was, if you ever had like chills before and you had chills like going down your body, it just felt like that going up my head. And I was like, what is going on? And I also felt like really dizzy. So I went into my manager's office and I told her, I said, you know, something is not right. You know, I'm having a panic attack. I don't know what exactly is going on, but I feel like I need to go to the hospital. And so she was, you know, she took me, I went to the hospital. They basically said they thought it was vertigo because I did also have a CAT scan and they didn't find anything. So they thought it was vertigo, and that's the reason why I was feeling a little bit dizzy and kind of off balance. So fast forward a little bit to maybe June, July, I was constantly still having those tingling feelings going up the back of my head, and then like when I turned my neck, it would really shoot up, and also like on this side of my neck, it was a pop. And you know, that already alerted me when I heard that pop, so I'm like, am I too tight? You know, is it just tenseness? Do I need to go get a massage? What's going on? So then I started to have like an itching feeling in my ear and my ear started to hurt. I'm thinking, okay, I have this feeling, it's probably like an ear infection, so let me go get checked out. I went to the urgent care to see if I had an ear infection and they were like, no, you don't have an ear infection. You know, it is a little red in there, but it's not like swimmer's ear or anything like that, so you don't have much to worry about. Let me go ahead and give you these ear drops to help, you know, the inflammation that's in your ear. So I did take those ear drops and it was just a steroid. I took them for the time frame that was recommended by the urgent care. So then I'm just gonna kind of fast forward to, you know, other things that happened. So about October-ish, or no, I would say like the end of August, I was still not feeling good. You know, I was still feeling like I was off balance. I was always hot. I just wasn't feeling myself. But in October, it's when it really got serious. So I was at work and my heart just started pounding really bad. I had palpitations, and it was basically an anxiety attack. I didn't know I was having an anxiety attack at the time because I've never really experienced anxiety. You know, I've heard other people say they have, you know, anxiety, and I just thought it was something so minor because people use that word so loosely, but that's what it was. And I was panicking because my heart rate don't never get that high unless, you know, I'm working out, but I noticed the heart rate got up to 150, 158. So I had my manager take me to their emergency room again because I sure thought something was happening. I thought, you know, I'm having a stroke. This has been going on for far too long. What should I do? Anyway, she took me to the emergency room. They end up keeping me for 3 days just to kind of do some tests on me. I've had pretty much every test under the sun. I have MRIs done. I've had tests done on my heart. They want to make sure there was no blood clots. You know, I've had x-rays. Basically everything you could think of, I've had it done. I don't seen so many different specialists. I've worn a heart monitor because they had to monitor what was going on to see what actually triggered these palpitations. After I got out of the hospital, those 3 days, I went to go see a neurologist. My neurologist was not the best. He sent me to get 2 lumbar punctures done. And after those 2 lumbar punctures, he basically misdiagnosed me with pseudo tumor cerebri. He did diagnose me with that, but it was a misdiagnosis. He also sent me to see a neurosurgeon. The neurosurgeon basically told me there's nothing that he could do because I didn't have that pseudo tumor cerebri. Like, I didn't have the symptoms that actually was to believe that that was my case. Also, I didn't fit the mold of someone that had that illness. One of the things that you want to be mindful of is you have to be your own advocate to actually heal yourself. These doctors would just push you on to someone else, and then you end up seeing multiple specialists. And, you know, like me, it's taken 2 years dang near to get to a point where I'm actually being diagnosed with something that I feel is actually correct at this point. I, went through the whole process of experiencing more symptoms. I was having sensitivity to my eyes, sinus problems. I felt like I had like a bubble in my nose. I had pain along like my jawline that would like shoot up. But the main thing that stuck out to me the most was the headaches daily. And not only was it like a tension headache around here, I had like I don't know, it was just like tension here. And my scalp was so sensitive. My scalp was sensitive so bad I had to cut my hair off because I could not brush my hair because it was just too sensitive to even move my hair, to wash my hair, to comb it, to brush it. I also experienced like a sharp pain, nerve pain in the back of my head in like I think it's called the occipital region right here in the back of the head. So I was experiencing that as well. I want to mention with TMJ, these are some of the symptoms that you may suffer from and may not even know it. You might think it's something else. So I do have my phone here. And some of the following is like head pains, headaches, and that could be like on the forehead, the temple, you have the sinus problems. Like I said, the sensitivity to your scalp and your hair, your eyes, pain behind the eyes. I definitely had pain behind my eyes. It was to the point where my optic nerve was swollen. And then like the sensitivity to light, mouth discomfort, like of course with TMJ, a lot of people associate TMJ with just like the clicking, the popping, dislocating your jaw, or your jaw getting stuck open. I didn't really experience any of that with my jaw, but I did, like I said, I had like the nerve pain. It was just like always hurting, and it was so sensitive to touch. Right in this area, right above the ear. I felt like I did have clenching at night, but I didn't feel like that was what's triggering my headaches every day. But clenching can definitely trigger tension headaches. I've been having difficulty swallowing for years and wouldn't even associate that with TMJD for sure. I had the voice changes as well. I was experiencing like being off balance and being dizzy and the ringing in my ear and feeling like my ear was always clogged, and I'm trying to basically unclog them and they just wouldn't unclog, and I thought it was the strangest thing. One day I woke up and my neck was so stiff. I could not move it. I couldn't go left to right. It was just stiff. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm, swearing up and down, like I must be having a stroke, because how come I can't move my neck? My muscles were so tight. Like back here in this area was so tight, and I had like a pinching feeling in the back of my neck, like in the cervical area. But yeah, that's like the strangest thing. And I was having the tingling, the numbness in my fingers, my toes. I had like the muscle spasms in my leg. I was having like nerve pain all over my body. Oh my God, I can go on and on. Now that I touched on my experience, I have now went to go see a TMJ specialist. And with the TMJ specialist, one thing is the medical insurance as well as the dental insurance are so bootlegged. Neither one of them want to cover the expense of actually seeing a TMJ specialist. They, the medical company feels like it's the dental company. The dental company feels like it's the medical company. So they just basically give you the runaround and don't want to pay for it. TMJ specialists are all fully out of pocket. So that is a bad thing, because it can get very expensive when you see a TMJ specialist. When I went, I told him all the same symptoms I told you guys that I've been having. He said it's actually quite normal, because people experience stress and anxiety a lot. Maybe from being busy at work, or just a busy lifestyle, or maybe a lifestyle change, something that happened that's just extremely stressful. Yeah, so he did a lot of tests on me, and he basically told me, let me see if I can explain this the best I can. So right here, my jaw joint, that point that's right there in front of your ear is where your jaw joint is. And what I understood is right between the jaw and your skull, there is tissue there. There's like a cartilage disc or something right between it. So on both sides, my left and my right, it is very thin space. I have a very thin space. It's almost to the point where it's bone on bone. And that's what you don't want to happen. You don't want to have to wait too long, or you don't want to wait too long, because if you prolong actually fixing that problem, it can cause arthritis. So, that scared me. I'm like, okay, I don't want no arthritis. I want to stay as healthy as possible. So that actually threw me for a loop. He also mentioned that my right side of my face is doing most of the work. And as you can kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see in the camera, but my right side is a little bit more fuller. I can tell like the shape of my face is changing. Like it just looks swollen all the time. But anyway, the right side is doing more work. The left side, the bone in the x-ray, it basically shows that it's kind of disappearing. So it must have been pushed back a little bit. It must be pushed back a little bit too far. And I think that's kind of related to my braces, because I did get braces back in 2014-ish. So it may be related to the braces and just pushing my lower jaw back too far. The goal is to basically bring my lower jaw forward just slightly. If the jaw is pushed back too far, that area between the jaw bone and your skull has a lot of vessels as well as nerves. So if those two, if it's like compressed, it's going to compress your nerves, which also can send like signals other places, like headaches, as well as the tingling in your fingers, your feet, basic throughout your body. If the nerves are compressed in there, it's going to definitely give you ear pain, because your ear is literally located right by the jaw. So after speaking to him, the treatment plan that he offered was for me to get an upper and lower guard. Basically, I would wear one guard all day, even with chewing. I would wear that guard all day, and that will be on the lower jaw. With it being on the lower jaw, it basically is going to help push my lower jaw forward slightly, just to open up that area between basically the cartilage disc area. And I don't know if I'm saying these medical terminologies correct. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just letting you know my journey and what I've kind of understand from this appointment. Basically, it helps open up that area and gives my body enough time to heal, and basically give more tissue to build up there. So then the top guard is going to be used to basically keep my teeth separated at night. So I'll wear the top guard at night, and I won't be able to close down and clench or grind while I'm sleeping. So basically the goal is to allow my body enough time to heal. They will reevaluate after maybe 6 to 8 weeks. Sometimes they say it goes a little bit longer than that. I've also seen videos here on YouTube that people have only wear the guards for 6 months and had success, so I'm definitely hoping I will. You know, after wearing these guards, I might have to also go back to braces, and that can be fairly expensive as well. So if you do go and see a TMJ specialist, just know that you're gonna have to pay out of pocket. Try to exhaust all other options before going to see a TMJ specialist, because one of the things that they're definitely going to do is make sure they rule out any other health concerns, make sure you don't have a brain tumor, or like it's a heart condition, or any MS, any of that. So I definitely had a long 2-year journey. So like I said, I've seen every specialist that you can name up, had all of the tests done, just to make sure I don't have anything that's super serious. Another thing that they gave me after appointment, so this is basically just a pulse meter. Let me take it out of the pack for you guys so you can see. So they gave this to me to monitor my heart rate as well as my pulse. They want to make sure that I have enough oxygen in my blood, because one other thing about TMJD, your airway normally it's very narrow. So that's what they noticed about me, is my airway is narrow, and they just want to make sure that I'm not developing sleep apnea. So they gave me this monitor to wear at night for 2 days to make sure that my heart rate and my pulse is okay. Okay, so in the beginning of the video, I did mention anxiety. And one thing, after doing so much research about the TMJD, I had came across that stress and anxiety would actually trigger TMJ. And I did not know that. So at the time, that I was telling you guys all about, when I had my manager take me to the hospital and everything, I was actually stressed and I did not know. So I was managing, my stress pretty well, I guess I was. I have done a lot of self-evaluation to kind of help figure out what's triggering my stress and my anxiety, because without me managing the stress and anxiety, my TMJ is always going to be a part of, my problem. Because with stress, you actually start to get really tense in your muscles, your shoulders, your back, your chest. And I was definitely noticing when all of this started to come together, I was noticing I was extremely tense in my shoulders and my back. So I basically had to narrow down, well, what is my trigger? What is actually causing me to be stressed, and what's causing the anxiety? Throughout my journey, I have definitely found out, what my triggers are. And I know that this pandemic that we're in now is definitely a stressful time. It's very sad. There's a lot of people that are losing their life. It's scary. It's a very scary time. But I almost kind of looked at it as, it was almost a blessing in disguise for me, because I needed some time to reevaluate my life, basically get some me time to figure out myself and what I need to get back to my old, self. And I did. I definitely took this time out to get my mind right, get my body right. Everything. I'm so blessed that I have a job. I can work from home and be able to get up from the desk, walk around, move around, kind of release some tension and energy, because that is one of the things that I did notice. I am a very hard worker, so at work I didn't take breaks. Like, I didn't even take lunches. When I had lunch, I would just eat at my desk. I never got up for like a 15-minute break, to go and walk around. I was always in the same position at work, and that is not good. It is not good to have certain posture or sit. We was not made as humans to actually sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. Like, you must move. You have to move around in order to keep your heart healthy, to keep your blood flowing through your body, to keep your muscles loose. You don't want to walk around with tight muscles. I'm telling you, if you are very tense, you're going to feel that, and you're going to feel that everywhere. You don't want to do that. So I was able to take this time to evaluate all that. And some of the things that I definitely did to help, like I mentioned, I have seen 2 physical therapists. One was a vestibular therapist, because it was helping with my dizziness, as well as a cervical physical therapist. He helped with the cervical part of my neck and as well as my shoulders. So I definitely did that.
As I was editing this, I realized I forgot to mention muscle relaxers. Those are definitely going to be your best friend. So if your doctor is willing to prescribe you a muscle relaxer, be sure to take those. The only thing is it'll make you very groggy the next day. So you may have to only take like a pill, like a half of a pill. But that definitely did help me throughout my muscle tenseness, especially with my jaw and my upper shoulder area. As well as a hot bath. I did soak in a hot bath pretty often to help release some muscle tension.
Then I incorporated yoga in my day. Yoga is such a blessing. I did not know that it can make you feel so good. Like my body feels so relaxed, my mind feels at peace. It takes away the tension. And someone that I actually watched here on YouTube for free, her name is Sarah Beth. I think it's like Sarah Beth Yoga. I'll definitely put it here. She has helped me through all this. After about maybe 3 weeks or so, I noticed my body starts to loosen up, like I was loosening up. I felt like a different person after doing yoga, basically. I was getting a peace of mind. So that was one of the things that I did with the yoga. Purchase like a heating pad, and it's like a full body heating pad that goes over your shoulders and your back. I'll link that down below. I purchased that off of Amazon. It is an electrical heater, a heating pad, and then I also purchased a heating pad that goes right around your neck. And with that one, you can actually pop it into the microwave. It's not electric. You pop it into the microwave, and you just it has a strap, so you can just lay it down on your neck. So I definitely was doing like the heat and cold presses on my muscles to help loosen it up. I also started getting massages. I definitely was walking daily because, like I said, I wanted to stop being so tense. So I had definitely started to walk. That helped get my blood flow, because at one point my feet and hands were so cold all the time. I found out that I had low iron, and one of the things is anxiety can trigger you having low iron, and I did not know that. My B12 was low. I had to get that up, the numbers up on that, and it was all actually related to anxiety. But my anxiety was triggered from my TMJ, as well as other lifestyle stresses like work or, home lifestyle things. Yeah, all those things was a trigger. So I definitely had to take some time out to figure out all of that. Some people may even say it's best to cut out certain things out of your diet. I know I have limited the amount of alcohol that I drink. I limit the amount of caffeine. I go, weeks and weeks without drinking caffeine, because I did notice that was a trigger. It made me always feel very anxious. My heart would race. I'd be jittery. And my jitters don't come on like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes after drinking the coffee. It's like hours later, and I hate that feeling. So yeah, I eliminated the coffee. Dairy, that's another thing, that could have a adverse effect on you as well. Maybe your IBS is triggered, that's now triggering some other things, that's like acid reflux, all that. Like, your body is so connected. You have to fix it all together. You can't just fix one thing. You have to fix it all together in order to feel like a new you and feel good again. Yeah, it's so much information, and I know that this video is long, but you don't know how long I've been waiting to do this video. I didn't know how to put the words together. It may not be the most interesting, but I definitely want to tell my story, tell my journey of what I've been going through. And I'm actually so excited to start this process with getting these mouth guards, and hopefully I can, I can get back to my normal self. I can talk and smile without having pain. Wake up in the morning, don't have a tension headache, don't have these temporal headaches. I don't want none of that mess. Like, I just want to be back to my old self. So I'm very, very excited. I plan on, keeping you guys up to date with this journey. And yeah, that's it. That's all I can think of right now. I basically threw up all over you guys with all of the things I've been going through for the last 2 years. If you guys have experienced any of these symptoms that I mentioned earlier, leave it down in the comments. Let me know, what have you done to actually help with your TMJ? What were your symptoms? I hope you guys found this video informative. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you in my next one. Take care.